Hi guys, welcome to CRXCONEC Academy. In today's lesson, we will talk about patch cord. So let's get started. In this field, we will talk about the cable structure, copper, conductor, and then it is our FAQ that our customer have met. First, what is the twisted pair, ripcord, drain wire, and the separator? So for the twisted pair, it is 4 pairs of the wire for the data transmission. The 4 wires are twisted and help eliminate the crosstalk and improve data transmission performance. And the ripcord, it is a strong yarn cord and used to strip off the sheath and reduce the risk of cutting any wires inside. Then we will talk about the pillar, which we also call it cross. It is to separate the 4 pairs of the wire to reduce the mutual interference of twisted wire during the signal transmission. And then the sheath, it is to provide the physical protection to the twisted wire. Then about the foil, it is to reduce electrical noise from affecting the signals. And the drain wire is to do the grounding. Next, what are the UTP and STP cable? The UTP means the unshielded twisted pair, and the STP means the shielded twisted pair. So for the UTP, it is the most common in the internet installations, and in STP there has many different kinds of STP type, like the braided or aluminum foil, and they use to prevent the crosstalk and EMI. Next, we will talk about the solid and stranded wire. The solid wire is made of the single conductor and is much more harder than the stranded wire. The stranded wire, it is made of the 7 conductors and also much more softer than the solid wire. So the solid cable, it is used for the permanent link and it has a lower attenuation. Is less costly than the stranded cable. However, if your design is for the horizontal and vertical structure cabling, usually we're using the solid wire. And for the stranded cable, it is much more flexible and consequently suited to the application which demand flexibility. Next, we will talk about the cable structure. First is the unshielded twisted pair. And there's a cable jacket and cross, insulation, and copper conductor. For our cable, we can make with or without cross. They are all available. Next, we will talk about the F/UTP. The F means the foil. There will have a foil outside 4 pairs of twisted pair. And also we will need a drain wire to do the grounding. And jacket are also LSZH PVC, all available. Next will be the unshielded foil twisted pair. We also have got a drain wire for this back, and the foil is over every single of twisted pair. So there will have 4 foil for this back. Next, we'll talk about the S/FTP. The S means the shielded braid for the outside, and the foil will be over every single pairs of the twisted pair. Also, we will need a drain wire to do the grounding. Next, what is the AWG? The AWG means the American wire gauge. It is a wire gauge system used since the 1857. And for this size, it is for reference because the actual size still have got the tolerance. And you can see in the chart, if the gauge comes bigger, the diameter comes smaller. Next, we'll talk about the gauge. And you can see in the picture, 22 gauge conductor is about 0.644 millimeter. And the 32 gauge, it is about 0.201 millimeter. So the diameter is getting smaller if the gauge comes bigger. The next one we will see in the actual bundling application. As you can see, the 24 gauge bundling is thicker than the 28 gauge bundling. Next, we will teach you how to read the gauge from the cable specification. We will check on the conductor structure, and we will see the diameter. It is 0.64 for our Cat A22 gauge cable. Okay, so in the end, we will talk about the FAQ. First question, how to choose the shielded or unshielded cable? When to use it? So for the shielded cable, we use in the higher bandwidth and the high EMI wiring environment. And the unshielded cable we use in the lower bandwidth and the lower EMI wiring environment. If there has a lot of machine that will generate a lot of EMI in the wiring environment, shielded cable can provide good protection. But if you are not much interference in the cabling environment, it is recommended to use UTP cable. Okay, so the next question. What is the EMI? The EMI means electromagnetic interference. It is a disturbance generated by an external source that affects an electrical circuit by electromagnetic induction. And the EMI may degrade the performance and increase in error rate to a total loss of the data. Okay, the third question. How to choose the gauge for my patch cord? So if you're using to deploy network, especially in the high density and difficult area, we will suggest you to a slimmer patch cord like 28 gauge or 30 gauge in order to increase system uptime and reduce operating cost. So for the advantage of using the slim patch cord, we can improve the airflow by minimizing cables and improve the energy efficiency. And then also, the cable are easier to maintain and reducing human error oversight. But on the other hand, if the patch cord is about to serve the longer distance, we will suggest you to use a thicker cable like 24 gauge. It can carry more stable signal than 28 gauge in the longer distance. Okay, so that's all for today's lesson. Thank you for joining us.
If you like our video, please give us a like and subscribe our YouTube channel. If you have further questions, you can leave a message below or you can contact us from our website. Thank you.